The Couture 303 podcast is now officially sponsored by Dapper Turkish Barbers in Hunts Cross. You can find them on Wood End Avenue and they do the full service there. The hair, the beard, the ears, the nose, the cutthroat, hot towels, the lot. It's the only barbers I ever go to. Fantastic service, great lads. No need to book, just pop in and see them 7 days a week. If you want a nice sick fade like mine, you will not be disappointed. The absolute best in the area. That's Dapper Turkish Barbers, Wood End Avenue, Hunts Cross. And now back to the show.
Oi, oi, vibes here.
I'm DJ Mafia.
This is Paul Louise.
Hi, my name's Robbie Edwards.
My name's MC Hurricane. I'm DJ Relentless.
Hey, this is Markside.
I'm John Edge.
MC Real.
Reggie Sarah.
Stevie Wonder. Hi, this is Bob K.
I'm Les Calvert. I'm DJ City T.
Yes, this is the JFMC. You're listening to the Couture 303 podcast with J Viper, baby.
Welcome back, everyone, to a very special episode of the Couture 303 podcast. And my guest today is the Don, the leader of the Geordie Gabba Mafia, the one and only DJ Smurf. Here he is.
Hey.
Oi, oi.
Welcome to the Deng dungeon.
Hey. Where's all the whips and chains?
Oh, look about them from the corner there. You can't see them.
How are you, Glenn? You okay?
Aye, not bad, aye. Had a busy week.
So first and foremost, mate, thank you very much for doing this. My first guest from Newcastle, my first Gabber guest as well.
Very good, very good.
So we'll crack on as we always do. So I always start off with the same question: where and when were you born, mate?
I was born in Gateshead, where I'm born and bred and living here now. Gateshead just across the river from Newcastle. It's about well, from where I am now, it's about 6 minutes into the city centre if you get through all the traffic lights.
Yeah.
I was born in 1972. I was born in a block of flats, believe it or not, on the 12th floor, some flats.
Yeah.
I was born on the floor in the living room. The flats were called Willoughby Court.
Okay.
And when I was a youngster, all the old people in the flats used to call us young Willoughby.
Okay, now, yeah, it's mad though, isn't it? I mean, obviously, I was born in 75, and flats were like a fucking thing. There was flats everywhere. You don't see them as much now. High-rise flats, 6 stories, 8 stories, 10 stories, whatever. And I don't know what it was like where you were, but where I was, it was a fucking shithole.
There was plenty in sort of the Newcastle area, but most of them's been knocked down now. I mean, the flats I was born in are still there.
Yeah. So what was school like for the young Glenn then? Were you good at school or?
All right. I think I done pretty well at school. And then towards the last couple of years of school, well, I went to it's trying to, because I've got a funny story about school. Started off in the junior school, then we went to Breckenbeds High School, which was next to a train line. And so this was like the sort of start of the 80s. Yeah. And instead of like doing lessons, I just became a train spotter. So the 80s. The school was next to train lines, and we sort of left that school and went to the high school.
Never had you down the train spots, I've got to be honest.
Oh, yes, on the train. That's how I sort of discovered acid house music, doing train spotting, but we'll get to that, I suppose.
Okay, so that would be my next question. So obviously, what's your family unit like? You got brothers and sisters?
I've got an older brother. I've not seen him in about 15 years, and last week we had a meet and greet with Bez from Happy Mondays.
Yeah.
And we went and sat down with 2 of us from the front. I was talking to this guy who recognised us in the foyer, so we're talking about raves and all that. And this guy turned around and goes, "Oh yeah, I know about that." I goes, "Hey, you're my brother, you dick." But my brother sitting in front of us, never seen him in like 15 years or something. So.
And you bumped into him at a Bez concert?
Aye.
Okay, now. So what was your introduction to obviously you just touched on it then, acid house music? Was it your brother playing stuff in the house, or was it older friends, or what?
That was just me. So when I was a train spotter, I was into breakdancing as well. So I grew up listening to the electro stuff from the west coast of America, like World Class Wrecking Crew, which was Dr. Dre, Captain Rock, with other guys, Egyptian Lover, and that sort of breakdancing electro stuff. So he slowly moved into hip hop or rap. And I was into Public Enemy, Run DMC, Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J. And when I was 17, I think, I got tickets for Public Enemy down Manchester Apollo.
Yeah.
I went down there by myself because all my friends were just like Rage on the Pet Shop Boys, stuff like that. Nobody knew me best like hip hop. So I went down to Manchester by myself on the National Express, shit myself. Went to see Public Enemy, stand on the chair, blow me whistle and all that. Third bass were on before them, which were quite good. And got back in the morning, went to sleep, got up, went to the local record store, bought the new Public Enemy album, which was Welcome to the Terror Dome, I think. No, it was Fever Black Planet, I think it was. Yes, it was. And when I was in the record shop, I got a flyer for an Acid House party. And I was like sort of getting into the Acid House sort of music then as well. And so, hold on, this might be different. Oh, yeah, yes, it was 1989, yes, when I was 17. So I got the flyer for that house party. Again, none of my friends went to that. So I went to that by myself on the minibus from Newcastle. There was this person going up and down on the bus saying, do you want to buy some pink champagne? Oh, do you want to buy some pink champagne? And I goes, no, I don't drink.
I don't drink.
Then some guy goes, it's speed, you know. And they're like, I was like, shit, this bus is full of junkies. Fucking hell, the buses. Killers, they're going to rape us and everything like that. So ended up in Middlesbrough about an hour and a half later, huge warehouse, about 2,000 people there, and just walked in, just blown away by the bouncy castles. And it was like big lads from school, or like bully type guys that coming up and hugging us and all that. I was like, oh, what are you doing, Redo? Stood at the corner for about 4 or 5 hours, shit myself, trying to, just scared of everybody, and I didn't know what to do. And then I picked up the coach to go to the merchandise store, and I got a can of Coke and a t-shirt, and I just went and danced. Well, I didn't know what I was doing, really, just danced by myself, and sort of changed my life.
It's weird, isn't it? Because as you alluded to there, you went to a rave on your own. But anyone who's ever been to a proper rave will understand you can go to a rave on your own, and by the end of it, you'll have 2,000 best mates.
Exactly, yeah, that's how it was, aye.
So when did you start? Obviously, this is very late 80s. This is the very birth of the rave scene then. So obviously, you're notorious for more of the harder style of music. So how did it progress from there? I'm guessing you just kind of evolved with the rave scene. But when did you start looking at playing and making your own music?
So it was just a natural progression of harder music, really. Like Acid House was a bit twisted and bleepy and a bit crazy. And then after that, you had sort of the European techno, like R&S Records and all the labels coming out of Belgium. There was Hit House Records, Music Man coming out of Belgium. And then you had Midtown Records coming out of Rotterdam, and then sort of 1990. And that music was sort of recorded like stompy music, because I had a hard kick. It wasn't a big fat 909 Gabber kick, but like I had like a stompy kick, like Die Witness and stuff like that. And then the sort of European techno just got faster and faster. Then in about 1992, the sort of Gabber started hitting the UK. And I remember it was the Euromasters. Some of their tracks came out in late 92, early 93, and it's just the mad chainsaw. Like people just shouting in Dutch. I'm like, what the hell are these people saying? It sounded like somebody being sick backwards, you know. And just got faster and faster. Then just sort of, and then that was the Gabber. And that was it. I just stuck with that. A bit crazy, just like Acid House music was a bit crazy, a bit different. And
yeah,
then it was just like 160, 170 BPM in 1993. Then by 1994, it was up to 200. And then late 94 was 250, 240 BPM. That was classed as speedcore back then.
Yeah, so what was your first step? Did you start DJing first or making music first?
I was DJing first. I got my first belt drive decks in 1990, I think.
Yeah.
But before that, I was going to car boot sales with my parents on Sunday afternoons, where you just big field, people just pull up on the cars, open the booth and just sell anything. You could buy screws, like plastic pipes, anything like that. And I bought 2 just like hi-fi turntables, little brown turntable things. I just had them in the house and putting 2 records together, no mix or anything like that. Obviously, no pitch. Just recording onto a Walkman. I think it was recording onto a Walkman, but because I wasn't mixing. And then,
what kind of stuff were you playing then?
Well, this was just the sort of early rave stuff. This was 1988 when I got the 2 turntables, so it was just Acid House music and hip hop stuff as well. I still had, but by 1988, I'd sort of went away from hip hop and discovered Acid House. So it was mainly the early house stuff, acid stuff. And then I got some Sound Lab turntables in 1990, I think, in a mixer. And then New Year's Eve on 1991, I was at this rave in Newcastle. There's this night club called Walkers, where we used to go every week. Sometimes Thursday and Fridays, when I was going to Club Newcastle, playing like all the new wave stuff.
Yeah.
So one of the DJs didn't turn up on New Year's Eve, and the guy, the only DJ that was there, Mikey Roots, who later had a big hit in the pop charts, as Kendo in Nagasaki.
Yeah, fucking hell, yeah. I need a lover. Fucking hell.
Yes, that's him, aye. So he was the DJ there, and he goes, oh, the guys in turned up on the DJ. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, okay, then so I had to go home. Got a big curver box of records, about 40 records, took them there. And that was my first DJ set, first time playing on Technics. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't work the Technics, I couldn't work the pitch.
It's mad, isn't it? Because I had lucky enough to have Technics for my first decks. I always remember a mate of mine came round, and I think he had he had fucking Pro 150s or something like that. And he went on me Technics and he went, these are shit. I said, what? He went, these are fucking shit. These. I went, they're not. They're fucking like they're good turntables. He went, no, they're fucking. I can't mix on them. They're fucking shite. So where did the name Smurf come from?
So the Smurf thing, it was another visit to a car boot sale. It was another Sunday morning, car boot sale, nice bounty of records. I was stuck in traffic. Coming out of the car boot sale. And the Smurf tune came on the radio, la 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 la. And I was like, oh, if you were a DJ, played that record as your first track, people are going to go mental. Think, oh, what's this? This is a bit weird. This is a bit daft. So I thought, oh yeah, I think I'll call myself DJ Smurf if I ever become a DJ. This was 1988, 89 or something like that. And
so you were always Smurf from the very start.
Before that, I wanted to be a rapper.
What was going to be your rap name?
GP Tips.
GP Tips.
They're like PG Tips, the tea bag. I made one track, but only had the lyrics were straight out of the gates. The crazy motherfucker called Tip. Bust with me, mess with me, and I'll break your fucking lip. That was my first rap record, 2 lines.
So your first gig was a standing in for someone, and you were already DJ Smurf. How did it progress from there then? Because obviously, I mean, I've looked at your resume, and fuck me, you've played fucking everywhere with everyone. I mean, it would be impossible to list them all. So, how did it progress from this first gig? Did you get noticed because of the gimmick, or how did it pan out for you?
Well, that was the first gig I'd done then, from about 1991 till about 1993. I was just like playing at my friends' houses, taking my decks around there, playing there, one-night parties and houses. We done a party in a disused house, and then it's the sort of Gabber scene started coming around. I started putting on my own gigs because there's nothing in Newcastle for Gabber. Judgment Day started up in 1993, but Easy Groove was the first one, and then by 1994, obviously the Gabber had reached like 200 BPM, 220 BPM, and I done a tape of all the 200 BPM stuff, sent it, give it a bass engineer in his record shop, and he was like, fucking hell, I've never heard a DJ mix like this, like 220 BPM is so perfect on tonight. I was right, I'm going to put you on the next Judgment Day. And I just, oh yeah, never life, forgot about it. This was Judgment Day 4, and the flyer came out, Lenny D, and it's Mark Smith, I think, Tech Trance and Smurf in the corner. I was like, oh shit, fuck it, I'm on the same lineup as Lenny D, bloody hell. Yeah. And
so that was Judgment Day number 4.
That was 1994, yeah. And then the tape came out with Lenny D on one side, and he was on before me, and I played after him. So he was on one side, I was on the other side, and then the tape done really well. Then I started getting booked at Nosebleed, and then Judgment Day eventually got a Gabber room. So from about 1996 to 99, I was resident at Judgment Day playing the Gabber. And then I played North a few times and places in Wales. And then 2001, I got me 2001 was my first gig abroad, which was Germany, and just sort of progressed from there.
Yeah. So we can see in the background there the GGM logo. For those who don't know, the Geordie Gabba Mafia. How did that moniker go? Is that yours? Is it?
It wasn't me that started it. No.
No.
It all started at Judgment Day with a little small Gabber room. Let's see the T-shirt there. The Gabber toilet. That was the Gabber room in Judgment Day was a little small room. They called it the Gabber toilet. And had like some Mark in there, Loft Groover, HMS, Manuel Malin, Laurent Ho, all the sort of big guns were there, And there was 3 guys called Addy, who DG UEP, Rob S, who was part of the GGM, and in the start, and then this guy Dan, they just started made stickers. They made stickers. I remember the Geordie Gabba Mafia started giving out at Judgement Day, and everybody had stickers on. Then they made some T-shirts, and then as sort of time progressed, Addy UEP started DJing and Robert started DJing, and they just said, "Oh well, you're the main sort of Gabba guy. You may as well join the GGM," and that was it really. Then I made the first tracks on the Amigas and had the first tracks released in 1997 or 1996. Horrible. Looking back from now, they're pretty terrible, like, but
So you've just touched on music production there. So how did you start? Obviously, we live in an age now where I could sit here on my laptop and you know, if I had the knowledge, I could knock up a half decent track in a couple of hours. But back in the late 90s, it was not as easy as that. You need a room full of equipment and stuff like that. So how did you get into music production? And how did you find it with your first efforts?
Well, we started making tunes on Amigas. So we heard about Neophyte making tunes on Amigas, and Nassim Gluten, the guys on Bloody Fist, making tunes on Amigas. So just went to a second-hand computer shop, got a second-hand Amiga 500 or 600 for about 30 quid. Some magazine came out, Amiga User or something like that, and had a free little square disc thing of Octamed Sound Studio.
Octamed, yeah, I mean,
Octamed, so just booted that up, and that was it. That was it. You just had an Amiga in Octamed, and instead of going along like that, it went down the screen.
Yeah, ones and zeros, only.
Aye, that's it. Aye, you put like 64 to like increase the volume by about 2 decibels or something like that. And then I managed to get loads of samples from the internet of like farts and shitting and beavers and butthead and you know. And I think the first thing you do when you in them days are you going to make a Gabba tune, just throw the BPM, put a kick drum in it, so it's like first thing you do to test everything out, throw the BPM, put a kick drum in, and then I started sampling stuff off the TV, which was we got this box thing that you stuck in the back of the Amiga, might have been like a cartridge port or something like that. And the phono leads at the back of the telly, and then you just started sampling stuff off the TV and stuff like that. And then I made that Fuck Me Geordie track that came out on Strike, which was Newcastle, England versus Newcastle, Australia, or GGM versus Bloody Fist, if you know it like that. And that track, Fuck Me Geordie, became a big hit around Europe, and I didn't even know.
Fucking hell.
That's
So you didn't get no money out of it?
What's that?
You're not getting any money out of it?
I think we did, we might have, I can't remember now. It's funny because the only communication then was by fax.
Yeah.
I was like faxing Mark N in Australia and so find out what was going on and all that. I still got the faxes in my little phone that I was sending.
So what's your setup now with production? Obviously, things have progressed a little bit these days, haven't they?
Yeah. So obviously got a high-powered PC, Ableton, a little MIDI keyboard, and that's it. That's all you need, really. You don't even need a MIDI keyboard, just there for show, really.
Yeah.
A lot of my stuff is just sample-based anyway, so
yeah.
A lot of my tracks are just like full of samples, and I just give them all away for free because obviously I can't sell them. Because I'm just doing this for a hobby, really. I've got a day job that pays all the bills, and I don't have to make music for money, you know. So I just make what I want. I don't care what people think.
Well, I went down a bit of a rabbit hole at one point, and I started playing a bit of Gabber and a bit of Frenchcore, and I went on. I think it was Hard Tunes or one of the sites.
Yeah.
Whichever site it was, and a lot of your stuff was on there for free, which I couldn't believe. Like, you know, so what prompted you to give your music away?
Just because it's all sample based. I got into trouble a few years ago with a distribution company for the record label. I was putting out all the Dr. Peacock's first releases back in the mid 2000s or something like that, and all his tracks had samples in from movies and all that, and all my stuff had samples in from all sorts of things like cartoons and everything like that, and lots of other stuff on the label had samples in it. And the distribution company got loads of copyright notices from iTunes.
Yeah.
And they said, we've had multiple copyright notices. We're going to discontinue your label and cancel your account.
Okay.
So everything got pulled down. I got a new distribution company, uploaded everything that didn't have samples in it, and everything that had samples in it just given me for free. But
yeah,
like I say, I'm not making music for money, you know, to survive.
Yeah.
Just make what I want, and I just selfishly make daft
tunes.
Well,
look, the one that stands out to me, and I think I actually played it at It's either on one of my mixes or I played it somewhere. Was it a remix of Limp Bizkit Break Stuff?
Oh yes, aye.
How did that one come about? Were you a fan of that type of music?
Well, I'd say about 5 or 6 years before that, when I was playing in Holland, like twice a month. I was doing like 3 gigs on a Friday, 2 gigs on a Saturday, sometimes like 5 gigs on the weekend in Holland. And back then you didn't have to produce. This was like 2004, 2005, 2006. There was loads of DJs there, there weren't producers. So I was DJing there and I wasn't making tracks. So instead of like sitting down making a track, I just picked acapellas. So I was getting acapella break stuff by Limp Bizkit and playing that on Frenchcore stuff. I was playing acapella of Walk Like an Egyptian. And then I discovered Dr. Peacock, and he discovered he had made a track like that. So I can say, oh, well, why do I combine my sort of track that I played with yours? And that got released on GGM Records #1.
Yeah.
I was just playing like acapellas of Christina Aguilera and pop tunes and Kylie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when I started producing, I eventually got around to make the Frenchcore version of Break Stuff. So I whacked that on there. Sounded pretty good. Looking back at it now, it doesn't sound too good, I think.
I beg to differ. I think it still sounds fucking brilliant.
All right. I think the kick drum could do with a little bit improving, but and then every time I used to play that, every time in Holland, you get like, you know, the plastic cups of beer and all that. And every time I was playing that, I was like, I was smashing my head with a cup. And I was coming back home, my girlfriend at the time was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'd fucking bruise it, cuts and bits on my head, just smashing the thing on my head and just bleeding all the time, coming back from Holland, all that. But the kids were like, oh, who's this fucking crazy guy? So that's how that came around, yeah.
Don't forget, you can catch me each and every Thursday night for my show, Absolute Old School, only on In Demand Radio, where I play you 2 hours of classics and a feast of forgotten gems, usually on the harder side of the spectrum. We kick off with the early 90s every week, and then we have the trance flashback section, followed by the spotlight section. In the past, we've featured clubs and events like Kinetic, The Drome, Good Grief, labels like Tidy Tracks, Bonsai and Shock, and artists such as Ultrasonic, Tony DeVee and Scott Brown. We always finish off nice and tough with the Go Hard or Go Home section. You can catch it on In Demand Radio Thursday nights from 11 p.m. or listen back absolutely free of charge on indemandradio.com or download the free In Demand Radio app for Apple or Android. So where did the name Deng come from? The Deng Dungeon and fucking all that kind of stuff. Because I bought one of your tracks a couple of years ago. Blood Red Skies, Dysonite, absolutely fucking fantastic track, by the way. And I discovered it on YouTube, and then I went and bought it from, I think it was either Juno Download or Hard Tunes.
Aye, that guy's actually a big Newcastle United fan. He's got a season ticket. He comes over here for the Newcastle matches from Rotterdam.
Yeah.
His dad is actually, I think he runs the Feyenoord supporters club. You know, Feyenoord with their Polar Stack and Panic and all that DJing in the morning.
Yeah.
Before the matches and the little basement things. His dad sort of organises all that. And I've seen him at a gig last January or something. He goes, oh, he has a link to my sort of Frenchcore stuff. But I think you only had them on Spotify. There's like 10 tracks. I goes, mate, man, these tracks are amazing. They deserve a better release. I goes, right, send us all the tracks and I'll release them to the world. And they got to you, didn't it? So that's a good thing.
Yeah. So where did the name Deng come from? Deng?
So Deng was one of my mates from where's he from? Maidstone in Kent. He hates all the music I make, and I text the piss out all the time. He just calls it Deng music.
Yeah.
Goes,
Deng.
That's where the Deng hardcore record label came from. It's like Deng, and then music. So it's like
GGM.
GGM. So
yeah, clever, Fucking oh, he's thinking. So how do you find the scene now? Because obviously, for us up north in the northwest, Gabber never really took off. You know, I mean, it's testament to how good you've done that I've actually heard of you, because there was no real Gabber nights. As I'm sure, have you ever played in Liverpool?
Yes, I was there last year. And
yeah,
I did have a gig there in the late 90s. We're actually supposed to do a GGM P8 some place in Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I think, strange enough, Seb Fontaine, the house DJ, might have been on before us, and he overran, and then we didn't get to do the PA. Didn't get paid and we got stranded in Liverpool. We were two Amigas and two big portable tellies.
Yeah. So you did some PAs, did you?
Yeah, we've done the GGM PA, yeah, back at Judgement Day, and then we've done a little mini tour of the UK. We've done supposed to do Liverpool. We've done it wasn't Species, it was the Species done another night in North Wales. I can't remember the name now.
In North Wales there was Rill. Was it fucking
Rill, yeah.
Steam and Rill?
It wasn't Steam. I did get booked for Steam back in the mid-90s, but I was double booked with Nosebleed in Scotland, so I didn't get there.
Yeah.
But the PAs that we're doing, like we're doing Leeds, Manchester, Rill, a few things in Scotland, so we're getting trains everywhere.
Yeah.
So imagine back then we had two Amiga computers, two portable TVs, what were like that.
Big everything's.
So I get them on trains, everything like that. There's one time we're doing a gig somewhere and we're sitting in a pub in Newcastle, and ATB 9 p.m. Till I Come was number one of the pop charts.
Yeah.
And we're sitting in the pub and had all the computers and all the screens and everything like that with DJ bags and everything. And there's like a load of like lasses on a Hendo or something, like, oh, are you a famous band? And I was like, yeah, we're ATB. Just going to the top of the pops or something like that. I saw them on my days with the horrible tellies and things.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, so as I say, so the Gabba scene never really took off in the Northwest.
Yeah.
Like I say, I mean, but I've seen your name. I've seen your name. I've seen Bass Generator, Techno Trance, all them DJs. So how do you find the Gabba scene now? Because where do you get most? I'm assuming you're still quite active now. I know you've done quite gigs recently, but where are you doing most of your gigs now?
Most of the Gabba gigs are still in Holland.
Yeah.
Holland, yeah. Like I said, I used to play in Holland like 2 or 3 times a month back in 2005, 2006, 2004. After I'd done Thunderdome in Holland, everything just spiraled from there. That is sort of dwindling off. And now there's nothing in Newcastle, which is a bit of a shame. Because Newcastle's got such a rich heritage of raves. We had Rezerection started in Newcastle in 1991. That ran until 1992. Then they went to Scotland for the all-nighters. Then Judgement Day started in 1995, I think. That ran until 1999. And there's been nothing since then. I started running some nights called Distorted about 10 or 15 years ago. And we've done a few nights in Newcastle, but we had big names on, like we've done a Neophyte tour, Neophyte, Panic, Evil Activities, The Player. Imagine that lineup now, at least.
Yeah.
half a year's mortgage to get them on.
Yeah.
So we had some successful nights in Newcastle, but then we didn't put headliners on and nobody turned up. Everybody just fucked off to Holland to the festivals, because that makes sense, doesn't it? You see everybody wanting Holland for like 125 quid flight and 50 quid a entrance ticket or something like that. So Newcastle there is still an odd party. There's a big festival that happens every year called Lost Minds, but it's more hardstyle orientated. And so the Gabba scene sort of dead. Yeah, I mean, there is lots of people still into it. Other than Newcastle, people like travel to Holland and travel to Scotland and all that. But the scene is just dominated now by Uptempo, isn't it? And
yeah. So there's a resurrection next year, isn't it? A resurrection.
Right.
Are you involved in that? Are you booked for that?
Yeah, I'm booked for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done there's been 2 more resurrections.
Yeah.
2019 was a massive one, and back to the Royal Highland Centre where it all started, all-nighters, and there was one in Newcastle 2 years ago in the summer, which was a bit of a disaster, but it was still a good night.
Yeah.
So next year, about 10,000 people there, and I'm doing a back-to-back with somebody, but I can't mention that yet.
Okay. We won't break that anyway. So I know stuff. Have you ever? I'm doing the Stu Allen Festival tomorrow. It's
yes, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Were you on an event with Stu at one point? He was on your list.
Yeah, he's done a few Judgement Days, and he's done a Judgement Day in Perth in the late 2010s or something like that. I got a chat with him there. Proper cool
You
guy,
get to meet him. He's a nice guy, isn't he?
yeah, lovely bloke. Yeah, we're talking about Gabber. He actually played a couple of Gabber tracks. I was like, whoa, I've never heard you play the song. He goes, oh, well, yeah, I'm in Scotland. I like it harder of Scotland.
It's weird because, I mean, I've had this conversation with a few DJs now. Like, for me personally, my introduction to like hardcore music was Stu Allen. We had Piccadilly Key 103 on the radio, and it was a fucking nightmare. You had to fucking, remember the radios with the pull-up aerial?
Yes.
Or you'd wrap a coat hanger around it. You'd be fucking all round your bedroom. Yeah, how's that? Yeah. You'd have to put a bit of blue tack on the wall and make sure it stayed there till next week. So he was our introduction to hardcore music, you know, for us in the Northwest. And like I say, if it wasn't for him, I might not be a DJ myself. I certainly probably wouldn't be a radio presenter if it wasn't for him. So to get asked to play at his festival tomorrow is just fucking, it's mind blowing. I mean, I was there last year. I was there as a raver, and it was absolutely fucking fantastic. And I never thought in a million years things had progressed where, you know, as soon as 12 months after, because, and it's all because of the radio show. So for me, I've been DJing myself since the mid to late 90s, nowhere near the success levels you've had. But I've been in and out the game. And when I come back, I decided to do this podcast, which obviously is give me an option, you know, an opportunity to speak to many people, like see yourself. I wouldn't have, we wouldn't be speaking now if I had done a podcast with somebody else that you made a comment on. It's just mad how it networks, and it's because of the podcast. I spoke to a guy called Steve Cockey, who runs In Demand Radio, and he runs Reminisce festivals. And it was only when I did a podcast with him, and a couple of days later, he rang me and said, "Do you fancy doing a radio show?" Which I said, "Yeah, just an old school show." We got the wheels in motion. I think my last episode was last night, was episode 31. So been running for 31 weeks now. And because of that, things have started to progress more for me now. And I've got a bit more to bring to the table now. I'm the same DJ I was 25 years ago. I haven't got better. It's just because I'm on the radio, I bring more to the table now. You know, I'm a bit more appealing because, you know, obviously when I get a gig, I'll mention it on the radio show. You know, I'm more people hear me from that. And that's how I got the Stu Allen gig. But it's such an honour, like it really is.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, looks good as well. Good lineup. Make the lineup in it.
So what's up next for Glenn Peterson then? Sorry, I've given you a name right there. I'll edit that out. What's up next for DJ Smurf?
The next gig is 30 Years of Roughneck in Glasgow in a couple of weeks' time. We did have a 30 Years of Roughneck in Glasgow about 2 weeks ago. I was supposed to play last. Roughneck was on before me. As soon as Roughneck hit the decks, he'd done about 4 minutes of a track and the fire alarm went off. Oh. Everybody got kicked out of the club. So the people got kicked out of the club in this tiny little alleyway. -7 degrees or something. Everybody's trying to barge back in and all that. And
oh my god!
The club were a bit shit because they didn't know how to turn the fire alarm off. They didn't have any sort of in, so it was just going on and on and on for like an hour and a half or something like that. And so Roughneck was kindly said he'll come back over. We scheduled the gig, and he's doing a 2-hour set. I'll be on last of his Human Obsessions on, and I think I'm doing the warm up slot as well.
The warm up. What speed you warm up?
I love them warm up sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just get a chance to play stuff that you never played before.
Yeah. So what would be a warm up set for you then? What was your kind of start and finish at BPM wise?
Well, for this night, I'm going to play loads of Roughneck stuff that's with pre-Gabber. And so Roughneck was one of my all-time heroes, and he started making tracks in 1991, like Mind Controller. You heard that track? I could control your mind when I get a little deeper. Sort of stuff like that.
I remember Roughneck Records, the logo with like a fella with like a fucking flat head, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've got them all around, yeah.
Yeah, and Morecambe was a big label as well. We had a Morecambe night. So the club we used to go to in Birkenhead to call it the Pleasure Drome.
Yes,
and they had a Morecambe night, and I always remember that was like fucking heavy, like fucking, you know, late 90s. Like I remember thinking, fucking hell, I was, you know, it wasn't quite Gabber, but it might, you know what, it might have been Gabber actually, but yeah.
Morecambe stuff was more sort of darker Gabber, and sort of Morecambe Records was the sort of bands at the Rotterdam Records when they were at war over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Morecambe was quite good, yeah.
So how did you end up breaking your leg? Was it when was that?
Oh, I think it flashed up on my Facebook memories a couple of days ago. I think it was 8 years ago, was
8 years ago, yeah. So how's that happen?
it? Well, I made another one of my city gimmick tracks, the Benny Hill track. You know, so I've done that track at 250 BPM, and every time I played that in Holland, I would get on the stage and just run around the stage like Benny Hill, you know, and just get people on the stage and run around and slap their heads like Benny Hill did.
Yeah.
And I was playing in one of the Noise Kicks Terror Drang parties. Instead of playing in the main room, I was playing upstairs for this one, because I think downstairs, yeah, Noise Kick was doing the 8-hour battle with back to back with the Destroyer. So he put us upstairs, and everybody thinks I was pissed, but I wasn't. No, I had a few beers, and I think I was playing about 11 o'clock or something. So halfway through, we said I had to whack Benny Hill on. Oh, there's nowhere to run. The DJ booth was in the corner, and there was like a long bar, maybe about 12, 15 feet bar next to us. I goes, oh, I'll stand on the bar and I'll run back and forwards on the bar. And so I ran to one end, I ran to the other end, and I don't know if I tried to jump off the bar into the DJ booth or if I just slipped. So whatever happened, I just landed, and my left leg just snapped.
Oh, okay, no.
I was lying on the floor, and like, probably as people said that I passed out. I can't remember. I just remember the huge pain. And obviously the record stopped, and people's like, where's he, the crazy guy?
It's part of the show, this.
The picture was like lying like that, and my legs like that.
Okay, now.
Then they cleared everybody out. Ambulance came, put us on oxygen and everything like that, and put us on a stretcher, carried us downstairs to the car park. And everybody's clapping as I come down the stairs and everything like that. Took us to the hospital.
When I was on your shield.
Took us to this hospital in Utrecht, and took us down, operated on my leg, and put a big metal pole, one of them metal things, in my left shin, so it's still there. I was in a hospital for 5 days in Utrecht, and they came round in the mornings with a menu. It was all in Dutch, and I was in a sort of open ward, and there was nobody who spoke English at all, and the doctors and nurses didn't really speak much English, so I just seen this thing on this fromage, and I thought, oh, is that whatever it was, Dutch with cheese? So I just clicked cheese in the morning, cheese or afternoon, cheese in the afternoon, cheese at night time. So I had a cheese sandwich for dinner, cheese sandwich for lunch, cheese sandwich afternoon for like 3 days or something. And I put it on Facebook with the photographs of the cheese and all that. And some random guy from my Facebook page turned up with a McDonald's and some Heineken.
Fuck off. Oh, that's brilliant, that.
Yeah, the guy from Rotterdam Tower Corps Distortion, he came down and gave us some t-shirts and some underpants and stuff like that.
Okay, now. Heavy shit, that. Okay, now. So no more breakages, no.
No, nothing like that. No, that was the end of me stage diving career type of thing.
I remember seeing a picture of probably about 10 years ago, maybe more now. Marky G was playing on some boat, and above him was the sprinklers.
Oh,
and he jumped up and down, and he cracked his head.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember he's DJing with fucking blood pouring down his face. Fucking madness, absolute madness.
Entertainment. All part of the entertainment, all part of the fun, as I say.
Well, it's all part of the art, isn't it? You know, what is it? Pain is beauty is pain and all that.
It's gonna make people dance, make them laugh.
Right, we're going to finish off now with some quick fire questions. DJ Smurf, I will take your first answer and your first answer only. Tea or coffee?
Tea.
What is your favourite flavour? Crisps?
Ooh, back in the days it was gammon, Tudor crisps, gammon.
Gammon, nice.
Yeah.
Don't have to repeat on you, don't they? Puppies or kittens?
Puppies.
What superpower would you have?
Probably be to be invisible and go and carry Merg's toilet.
Alive or dead, who would you like to make a track with?
Ooh. Probably the Speed Freak.
Yeah. Rocky 3 or Rocky 4?
Never seen any of them. I've never seen any Rocky films because it's just, you know what's happening. You know what's going to happen in the end. Then he's going to win.
Well, so, not always. Not always.
No spoilers.
What scares you?
Cotton wool.
Really?
I,
I had a mate who had a phobia of cotton wool, actually. It's fucking mad,
that's really so funny now.
What's one thing you'd rid from the world?
Cocaine.
RoboCop or Terminator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen any of them either. Terminator.
What's your favourite thing to do when you're not working?
Sleep.
Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Definitely no.
Most expensive luxury you ever bought yourself?
CDJs, I think. The most expensive phone charger in the world. You can charge your phone on the USB port.
Knight Rider or the A-Team?
Oh, definitely Knight Rider.
Your favourite DJ or dance act?
Favorite dance act, Venga Boys.
Venga Boys.
Yes, they warmed up for me at Bangface.
Did they, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, now. Comedy or horror movies?
Comedies,
How do you like your steak?
medium.
And what's the best podcast you've ever been on?
This one, of course.
Hey! Glenn, it's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege speaking to you. Thank you so much for spending your time. And this is the first time I've ever done an evening podcast, by the way. Usually when I do the podcast, it's through the week. But with your schedule, my schedule, I've had to get the kids out of the house. The kids
really?
have gone to the local trampoline place with the mum. And it's an evening podcast. It's dark outside. It's unusual. So thank you so much for your time. Anything you want to say? Any requests or dedications?
Just thank you very much, and thanks to everybody who's believed in us. I know in the past I've been not been taken very seriously because I've always been a pissed sort of party head, but I don't get pissed as much now. I actually drive the gigs in the UK, so just thanks to everybody who's believed in the Smurf and the funny music.
Thank you very much for your time and your stories. As I always say at the end of every podcast, guys, I don't know who or what's next. This podcast probably going to go out November. It's November now, isn't it? Going to go out December or possibly January. So depending when you watch this, either Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.